Welcome back into Twin Cities Live. So, Elizabeth, turn your ears on, okay? Turn them way up, all right? Because you can hear. You hear that?
Wow.
It's the signs of spring.
My goodness.
That was a coyote. There are birds chirping.
Yeah.
That's crickets. What you can't hear is the dirty snow melting into the sewers.
Yeah, that's not quite as
That's like
poetic
a drip,
and beautiful.
drip, drip.
It is
Yeah.
still a nice image, though. Our friends at Minnesota-based Haskell's want to help you say hello, spring, but with a special bundle on wine. Cheap, cheap, hop, hop. Twin Cities Live's wine guy, Haskell's Ted Farrell, joins us. Oh, you're cute as
You
a
are
little
so cute.
chick.
I've always said we need
You
more
are kind.
Teds.
I think you need an optometrist. If
We
that's
need
the
more
case.
Teds in the world.
Oh my God.
Just like you. We should clone you.
Yeah.
God help us all. All this world of AI and cloning, forget about
Teddy,
it. No
okay,
way.
this is really fun. You have a 6 for 60. 3 of these are brand new to Haskell's. And I do want to ask before we get started, I mean, you have limited shelf space. There's a lot of great wine out there. What is the process like of making a decision that it's going to come into the store?
There's all kinds of levels that go in it. Some of it's the space that you do have. Some of it, quite frankly, is the quality of the wine, and most importantly is the price.
Yeah.
And so a couple of these were purchased or at least arranged literally a year ago when I was at Wine Paris, which is their new wine expo in Paris, going through different booths, talking to the different vignerons and winemakers and saying this, that, and the other thing, and sat down, discovered this particular line, and wow, this is terrific. Let's import that in and bring it into Minnesota, and let's share these values with everybody.
Yeah.
So as we get into this first rosé, like how many would you estimate? I know everyone's probably different, but like how many do you think you tried before you said, okay, price point, taste, relationship, all this stuff, like this is the one that we
Well, ironically, this rosé I never tried, and I didn't even know I ordered it. It showed up, and it showed up to the stores a couple, 3 weeks ago. I didn't even have it in the system.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it is the Koala Ranch Rosé. Now, this one in particular, Koala Ranch, we've talked about the different other expressions, the Chardonnay, the Shiraz, etc. One of my favorites, the little label right there, one a Clio.
It's so cute.
Yep.
So
It's great.
terrific,
I love it.
simple. It's a wine glass, whatnot. But this one, it's a little bit rounder. It's not. It's compared to some of the other rosés we have. You could use the word sweeter, but it's a rounder body. It's not really that sugary sweet, but it's a little bit rounder. And we also wanted to play with those. You know, there are customers that want a little bit rounder, easy, approachable.
It's flavorful.
But
It
it's
really
a
is.
nice bottle of wine. Great little thing. And again, that one just showed up, so I picked it up and had to run with it. So.
No, there is a sweetness to it, but only in like aroma. Like there's
Yeah.
only like
Yep.
when you the mouthfeel of it feels sweet, but when you swallow it, it doesn't. It's not
It
sweet
goes
at
away
all.
in the
Yeah.
mouthfeel. It's a little bit rounder compared to
Yeah.
some of the other ones. Some of us, the other ones that we do are a little bit like more stone fruit, things like that. This is not lollipop, but there's
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
bit of rounding
Yes.
fruit to it.
I
So
think
it's
if you complain sometimes if you're like, oh, this is too dry or too tart, this is the one to lean towards. Because
Yes.
it's a perfect balance. This is lovely. It feels like spring. I feel like I could smell a flower.
And that's the whole point. We wanted to feel like spring. We're getting optimistic. You know, it's getting into the 70s this weekend. You know, what is this? Fake spring number two
2.
coming
Yeah, number
up,
2,
so
yep.
Yeah.
We're all good. But next, this is a very unique wine. We've talked about Rosé de Anjou's, but this one in particular is the Chateau Montgueret Anjou Blanc. Now, the Anjou is known, this grape varietal in there is called the Melon de Bourgogne.
I love it.
Whoa, this
Now-
is really good.
Delicious.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, the Melon de Bourgogne has a kind of a rough history because the name in which it comes from is Bourgogne, which is the Burgundy region, and the Dukes of Burgundy about 500 years ago kicked the grape varietal out, and it went over to the Loire Valley and went into these areas, so they really enjoyed this. It's a little bit rounder. It has a nice body to it, but it has some Sauvignon Blanc characteristics
Yeah.
to it, but there's a little bit more rounder, voluptuous body to it. So it's kind of like a hybrid between Chardonnay and maybe a Sauvignon Blanc.
This is what my brain was thinking as you were saying it. You
See?
have taught me so well over the
That's-
years. I was literally thinking this is like better than Sauvignon Blanc. It's like Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay had a hot night out and had a baby, and then here we are to something better.
That's what I'm talking about. We're getting X-rated wine here. This is
Oh my
awesome.
God.
I
This
didn't-
is not to be missed.
And especially with all these three, the rosé and the two whites, you can put a bigger chill on it, and you can really enjoy it. This one, as it warms up, you're sitting on the deck. This is just, whether it's salads, shrimp,
It's great.
whatever. It's light and approachable, or just swill a bottle, who cares?
It's what
It's
I always
fantastic.
want Sauvignon Blanc to be, a
Yeah.
little bit more like a Chardonnay. That's
Yeah,
why it's
that is
fantastic.
fantastic. Okay,
Okay.
now next to the Chardonnay.
Next is another brand spanking new one, fresh off. This is actually becoming the Chardonnay at the Farrell household on a regular basis, and this is the Bourguignon, the Jacques Bourguignon Chardonnay. Now, it's a vin de pays, so the Chardonnay they kind of source throughout all of France rather than the Burgundy region or in a particular region, but that's one reason why you get a very price-effective Chardonnay.
Nice.
But it's really nice. It's not over the top.
Nope.
It has a little bit of a Chablis feel to it up front because it's kind of light, a little bit stony. You can smell the minerals, but when you taste it, there's not all that oak. You don't need the chainsaw.
Not at
It's
all.
not. It gets a little bit of oak exposure, but it's very minimal. And especially with springtime coming up, this is your Chardonnay that you can chill and just enjoy.
That's a pretty label, too. Doesn't that look good? Like
it
its
is.
simplicity?
Well, so what you're saying, though, and you just admitted, you're holding out on the public. So this is something that you guys have had in your household for a while, but it's new to Haskell's.
It came into Haskell's right about, I cleared it through customs and all that
Interesting.
stuff. February, and February 2, a case was down in the cellar. And then February 7, there was a case in the back of the cellar. And then February maybe 12, there was another case going down in the cellar.
Listen.
So it's just that wine that we love to have when
Yeah,
we
it's
come
very
home.
good.
Long day, crack it open. It's in the Stilven, the little screw cap. Open it up while you're cooking dinner and getting the kids all situated. Awesome bottle of wine.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it really
very
is good.
That'll be nice for like those cool sunset cruises on the lake too. It'd be
Oh,
perfect.
that's what I'm talking about.
We like the screw top for that. Okay, so now we've got a Chianti Casa Farrelli.
Well, this one isn't so new. We've
No.
talked about it in the past, but especially with the springtime, with Easter coming up, people do eat a lot of lamb, and this with lamb is a match made in heaven. You could do it with all the other classics too, whether it is spaghetti or pizza. Or, a few customers will call this their like hamburger wine.
Yeah.
They come home, they're grilling burgers, fire that one up. It's happy, it's pleased, but with that, you're tasting the with the lamb, a little grilled lamb. That's wonderful, and it's 100% or not 100%, about 85% Sangiovese, but it's just a wonderful, approachable wine.
That
Yeah,
is
it's really good.
fantastic.
We talk about rebranding, and I think hamburger wine probably needs a rebrand.
Still delicious though.
Yeah,
okay.
it's great.
You always get a Cote de Rhone in there for me.
Now, last time, yes, we did this. This is like its big brother. We did the Cote de Rhone, but this one is the Cote de Rhone Village. And this is by the Berard guys. It's just a little bit more complex. There's a little bit more vanilla to it, a little bit bigger than the one we did last time.
Yep.
But that's the difference between just a Cote de Rhone, which is a very broad region. The Village is a little bit more narrow of a region, a little bit more concentration, but a great Cote de Rhone. And again, the world's your oyster. Roasted chicken,
Yep.
grilled steaks,
Yeah.
do whatever. Again, pizza, whatever.
Yeah. It's got a nice little bit of dryness, which is good.
Very, very full flavored. Okay,
Okay.
real quickly, the Cab Sauvignon.
Probably my nickname in the company is the Standing Goat. This is the Standing Goat Cabernet. Again, a very good Cabernet in the southern part of California and around Paso. Just good exposure, but it's just such a great Cabernet that if you have that wine drinker who wants something bigger, a little bit more oomph, the Standing Goat is your guy.
It's a good one, Ted.
It's a
Thank
really
you
good
so
one.
much.
Cheers.
Great to see you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now through Sunday, March 23rd, you can get all 6 of the wines that Ted brought us today for $60. You just have to stop by the stores. You can look for the Twin Cities Live 6 for $60 bundles. The good thing is they're already pre-packaged and ready to go for you.
That's right, and Haskell's is so convenient. They have 10 Minnesota locations, including Plymouth, Maple Grove, and the Highland Park neighborhood of St. Paul, and they also deliver to your homes in the metro.
That is great. Okay.